So what is a responsible business? Well, I guess in simple terms, a responsible business is a business that cares. It cares about not only its investors in terms of making a profit and making sure that the investors' money is safe, but it also cares about its employees. It cares about its whole workforce, all of the people that it interacts with to achieve its goals and objectives. And it also cares about the environment. It cares about the planet. It cares about the world that we live in and the impact that it has on that world, both in what it takes out of the world in terms of the consumption of water and other natural resources like that, but also what we put back into society from an environmental point of view, the emissions that we create, not only directly in the process that an organization undertakes, but also in the products and services that an organization creates. For example, obviously, one of the major issues these days, or major concerns is these days, the shift to electric cars. Well, why are we shifting to electric cars? I haven't seen all the numbers, I'm not an expert in it, but the intent is to reduce carbon emissions, to reduce the amount of CO2 and carbon monoxide in the air, which breaks down apparently the oxygen that we need to breathe. And so essentially, an organization that's a responsible business would care about what it's doing to the environment. And one of the things that's important, it cares about it not because of legislation, but because it's the right thing to do. And so we talk about people, planet, and profit. And so essentially, an organization that's responsible is balancing those three things together. Now, responsibility means not only abiding by the rule of law, but doing what's right from a societal perspective. And the challenges for many organizations is that whilst acting unethically and immorally is not illegal, it can negatively hurt their brand. And obviously, from a reputational point of view, not only will people not want to buy its products and services, they won't want to go and work for it. And we're already seeing this with recruitment. There are statistics out there put out by organizations such as the Society of Human Resource Management in the United States that talk about the people that are going into the workforce today. One of the things they take into account is the type of organization that they're going to work for. It would be very interesting that in a lot of cases, we hear that nobody wants to work these days. Well, is that true? Or is it that people are looking at organizations and saying, I don't want to work with that organization? So maybe organizations, in terms of dealing with their hiring problems, could be looking in the mirror a little bit more and saying, there's some things we could do to be a more attractive organization. So being a responsible business is caring about people, planet, and profit. We talk a lot about leadership and the role of leadership. And of course, nowhere is it more important than the example that leadership creates, not only in the ways in which it decides to run its business, but in the behavior that leaders exhibit in the business. One of the things that many employees are concerned about is a lack of integrity, management saying one thing and doing another. So the actions of leadership in terms of both stating what they expect in terms of responsible behavior, but also setting an example by actually doing that, behaving themselves in a responsible way. And in a responsible business, that would include listening to employees, taking the employees' concerns and issues into account. There's no secret that organizations like Toyota have built their strategic competitive advantage on not only good products and services, but also in an operational environment where people are considered very, very important in the way they run their business. There is no more important relationship than the one between the direct supervisor and the employee. What are we looking for? Well, we're looking for creating a work environment where individuals feel that they can give their best. They feel like they're cared about as an organization because of the way they're treated, and they can actually contribute. And out of this comes real significant competitive advantage. It comes through innovation, creativity, better communications, better collaboration, better cooperation. And this extends not only between different departments and organizations within a particular structure, but also between the organization and the people outside that it deals with, its suppliers, its customers, its regulators, the general public. And so it's critical from an organizational success point of view that we create the optimum environment through which operational activity takes place. And that is the job of leadership. That is the job of management. No question we have to keep our costs down, but we have to balance that with treating people fairly. And if people believe that they're not being treated fairly, then we have a problem. So when we look at responsible business, when we talk about responsible business, it's not a buzzword. It's essentially leadership becoming more accountable for the way in which their organization operates. That's the key to it.